Hello and welcome to another Career Reset Challenge webinar series. Today, I'm going to wait for a little bit longer just to get everyone on board and make sure that everyone's here and what we're looking to do. Clearly, we're going to look at why we're here. I'm going to turn that off so I'm on here. Welcome to Career Reset Challenge webinar. Many of us are walking through life lost, confused. We turn up at work, we get a paycheck, and we make things happen, right? We just walk through, aimless, purposeless. And for athletes who are coming to the end of their career, this is even a bigger problem because you've had a purpose and your purpose is your sport. You've gone out there and played, you've gone out there and improved yourself, you've gone out there and worked hard to become the best you can be and play at the highest level you can play at. But then when that's gone, who are you without sport? Who are you without that arena to play in? You then enter this scary place of no purpose. My name is Tony Everett, and I started my personal best coaching to help athletes through this career reset challenge. The idea is nice and simple. You're lost, confused, don't know what to do next. We've got a career reset program that helps get you back on track, helps get you back on track, helps you understand who you are at the core, helps you tap into other areas of interest that you could use to launch a new career. I help athletes become the entrepreneur that's sitting inside of them. Tap into that interest, help them launch a business, help them get their messaging right, help them step into the world and step into their brilliance boldly and confidently, and so they can continue to win in the game of life. So today we're going to talk about this concept of purpose and passion. So when we look at purpose, why are we here on this planet? Why? What is the purpose of our existence? When we think about the why we are here, we've got to look at our purpose. So as I mentioned, thinking about you as an athlete, you have had your purpose within your sport. And it's an amazing thing, this athletic world, because top class athletes or athletes who have been playing a sport are very unique. They're kind of like entertainers. There's very few arenas where this happens. You started playing your sport at a young age, and you have just been developing that sport and that strength and that ability, strengthening your muscles, strengthening your desire to be and go somewhere. And it's all to do with sport. You have lived, breathed, lived, and slept sport. That's what you've done. That's all you've known. And then suddenly your career is about to come to an end. Well, who are you when that happens? Where do you go to? What do you do? How do you find purpose when sport is gone? I mean, I know I'm making light of it here, but in this slide, is it something that you go looking under rocks? Do you lift up a couple of rocks and hope you find purpose, right? Is it hidden somewhere? Well, I'd like to say it's as easy as picking up a rock or two and there you go and find it. But actually, you've got to challenge yourself to step into that uncomfortable place of looking inward to see what's going on. And as I think about that and explain that, let me talk about my purpose and what I am here for. I left school and joined the Royal Navy. I left the Royal Navy and became a salesman. And I had been selling for nearly 20 years. And I was bouncing from job to job, really purposeless, right? I just worked, I brought in a salary, it paid the bills, and I was happy enough. It was nothing really wrong with my life, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was just doing a job and getting paid. And this was all in England. I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity back in 2000 to move to America, to California. It was with my sales job. And I came out here and started selling. But my boss at the time also coached youth soccer. His daughter played AYSO soccer. So he asked me if I could help out. And I was like, sure, I'd love to help out. I play the game. It's a fun game to play and all that sort of stuff. So I stepped into youth soccer. And it was when I stepped onto that field and started working with kids that I suddenly discovered my purpose, right? My purpose was to work with these kids. And so you could look at it and say my light-hearted reference to picking up a stone, that's what happened to me. But I didn't know even back then that it was my purpose. I spent a number of years still selling and coaching, unfulfilled in the sales world, but it was paying for the rent and bills and stuff, fulfilled in my coaching, working with kids and helping them grow and develop into really good human beings. And then 15 years ago, so I'd been here in the States by about 10 years by about then, I decided that I was going to take a risk. I decided that it was time for me to actually stop what I was doing in this part-time kind of world and dabbling at it and really look at who I was. And I realized that working with kids, coaching them in life, looking at the bigger picture beyond sport, giving them actual life lessons, things that I'd learned in my life, was much more fulfilling. So I set up a nonprofit called Pure Game. And the Pure Game organization was born in 2009, 2010. And I went full-time in 2011. And I have, in the last 13 years, been passionately engaged in this purpose of helping kids thrive and understand their limitless potential. And that is, in summary, my purpose here, to meaningfully connect with people, to help them tap into their brilliance and help them step boldly into that brilliance and help them believe in their limitless potential. So I discovered that, but it took a while and some digging to understand that that's actually my purpose. And that transitioned then into this world of what I'm doing now, which is coaching athletes step into their brilliance after sport and tap into their limitless potential as a business owner or as an employee. And so it was hard work. It wasn't something I picked up a rock. Oh, I've got purpose. Great. So my question has always been, when you've got your purpose, that gives you a direction. Purpose gives you an aim in your life. It's kind of like having the goal on a soccer field, right? When you've got a goal to aim at or a basketball net, the whole team knows where it's going. It knows that it's got direction and purpose. You've got a goal to head towards. Then we need the passion to fuel that purpose. Passion is this feeling inside that just lights you up. Everything blurs into a non-existence when you have that passion. So what comes first, purpose or passion? I would then say it depends on the person, right? Some people find a passion for doing something and then they turn that into a purpose. Some people, like me, found a purpose, kind of did it over the course of time and then found the passion for that and then really kind of got going. But passion is the fuel that is used to drive our purpose. It's when that team is on the court, all cylinders firing, heading in the right direction, all giving 100% of themselves because they are passionate about what they are doing and where they are going. They know that this is the right thing to do. So passion and purpose, and they can sometimes be confused by using them in the same sentence. Passion and purpose about the same thing, but they really do mean very different things. If you can look at the idea of purpose, gives you the direction in which to head. It gives you that sense of a goal that I'm heading towards. Passion is the fuel that drives you. I have now passion over this idea of coaching kids, coaching athletes, helping people boldly step into their brilliance. I don't need an alarm clock to get up in the morning. I am getting up because I am passionately dedicated to what I do. Now, I said earlier that it's not easy. It's never easy, this stuff. Purpose, passion, we can throw it out there and say, find your purpose. But when you actually step into it, you come across challenges. There are things that step in your way. There is obstacles that get in the way. So we then need to think of, well, what else do I need? If you sprinkle some perseverance into your purpose and your passion, then suddenly you've got this force that moves, right? Because now the challenges that step in the way, um, a mountain of a problem becomes more of a molehill of a problem, because you're able to just work through it. And it's the purpose that gives you the direction, the passion that gives you the fuel, and then the perseverance that keeps you moving in that direction. It keeps you going where you need to be headed. Coming back to my non-profit story. So I started Pure Game in 2008, 2009, went full-time in 2011. And I was genuinely stoked about the purpose of this, and slowly but surely found my passion. I did it part-time, and then stepped out to do it full-time. Many people don't know the challenges of non-profit work. It's hard work. It can be thankless work. You don't get paid a lot when you're running a non-profit. And that's not to sit there and say, this is a sob story. It's to sit there and say, I came across those challenges, but I had the purpose. I had the passion of helping kids. And I interwove this perseverance into what I was doing. And no matter what got in my way, I found a way through it. And a good example of that is COVID. It affected a lot of people, we know that. But for Pure Game, we were an in-person, sports-based school partnership program. 3 things that just were not happening when it came to March 2020. And so Pure Game was essentially closed down. My kitchen table is that way. I sat at my kitchen table and I had a mini breakdown. I couldn't coach soccer. I couldn't play soccer. I couldn't watch soccer. And more importantly, I couldn't use sport to engage kids, to teach them the life lessons. My purpose, my passion was gone. And what hit home more was the fact that I have a team, and this team of people were sitting there wondering what was going to happen. What are they going to do? So perseverance, right, came in. I sat there and went, this is not going to stop us. We are going to work through this. So I sat with my team. I assured them that we were going to keep them hired. We met for the first 2 weeks of COVID, when it was all on shutdown. We met on Zoom 2 weeks every single day. And all we did was brainstorm and come up with ideas as to how we could overcome this obstacle. The perseverance that was within my team, the heart of my team, the passion that was there to continue serving these kids and to stay relevant, was awesome to see. And so we created a bunch of online programs. We created games where we sat in front of computers, engaging kids in their home through the schools, so they could actually then stay active, stay involved, and we were able to work through the whole COVID situation. And so when things started to open up again, we were able to just step back straight into the side and the schools, and step back into our stride and keep things moving. So the idea of purpose with passion and perseverance, you really do become this unstoppable force in the world. And you can really look to change the way the world is operating and how you and other people around you interact with and engage with the world. Now, it doesn't have to be this massive, big, world-changing program. It doesn't have to be something to save the universe or the world. It doesn't have to be that. That doesn't have to be your purpose. As an athlete, your purpose was to become the best athlete you could be. That with the passion and the perseverance that comes from the world of athletics helped you step into this world of sports and make you the best you could be. That was your direction you're heading, and it changed your world. You can leave sports and bring with you that sense of purpose, bring with you that sense of passion and the perseverance you know that it's going to take to develop a world-class employee, entrepreneur, whatever it is you want to do, and then do that at the best you can be. Because when you do this, and why I say you become an unstoppable force, people around you see your purpose, they feel your passion, and they see your perseverance. So you could be a solopreneur sitting in your office selling something online, but those around you see, feel, and sense this unstoppable force of nature. They know you have purpose, they know you have passion, and they can see the perseverance. And that's what I'm talking about. This is why it's so important that more of us become purposeful, purpose-filled, become passionate about what we do, and find the perseverance to keep pushing through. Because the more people that get that contagiousness, that feel, that drop out of all of that, then the world can become a better place because you're here. Like I said earlier, my purpose was always around youth sports and a sports-based youth development program, helping kids from inner city areas tap into their untapped brilliance and find out how good they are. So I've been doing that for a long time. During that little COVID breakdown, when I couldn't do anything, I was thinking, well, what could I do next? I then became this business coach for athletes in a career reset situation. And so what you can do next is you can go to my personal best coaching website, mpbcoaching.com, check out the website. There's some classes on the website that you can sign up for. There's going to be, from here, there's going to be a free course for those who have signed up for this webinar around purpose, passion, and perseverance. I'm going to create that small class so you can sign up for that and tap into what your purpose is and where you're going to next, to see how you can find that next step, find clarity after the sport. I transitioned through the COVID situation because of a mini breakdown that I had. I know that as athletes, you're going to go through the same thing as you face the end of your career, and you think that it's done. I'm washed up. I don't know what to do next. I have no idea where I'm going. I know that feeling. That's where I was at my dining room table. But then I just realized that there's other parts of my old purpose that I can bring into my current day. I still have the passion for helping people. I still have the perseverance, so I can step up and move through to my next season of life. Thank you very much for being a part of this webinar. Thank you very much for being a part of my personal best coaching. You can send me questions here. You can go to the website. There's a schedule a call button. You can go there. You can call me directly. You can send me an email if you've got a question that's a burning question that you have that you need answering about purpose. Please feel free to reach out to me. The next webinar will be in a month's time. I will be collecting questions between now and then that I can answer around the idea of purpose and passion. In the meantime, please visit mypersonalbestcoaching.com or mpb.com, mpbcoaching.com, and you can find out more information there. And I'm happy to partner with you, to talk to you, to discuss with you what's next for you in your life. I know it can be challenging when you're facing the end of your career, but it doesn't have to be. You've got support. I'd love to be there to help you. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I will see you here in a month's time. Bye now.